Hey everybody, it's Chugga-Conroy. Welcome back to more Pokemon Emerald. In the last episode, we got our first Pokemon. No, not our first Pokédex. Well, actually, our third Pokédex. We got our first Pokemon, which is right here. This little Torchic has a rash nature. I know with all that heat, I'd probably get a rash too. Okay, fine, I had to. But anyway, starting off here, now that we have the ability to run, let's head out to Route 101. Now, on the sides of the screen, you're going to notice that there's Pokemon there. There's a lot of new Pokemon. There's a lot of Pokemon in these earlier areas, mainly just because there's, a lot of common Pokemon that are just going to appear everywhere, and they're kind of introducing those to us now. So I'm only going to explain the early Pokemon as they're encountered, as to not overload you with bios. So first we have Poochyena. Poochyena is the first Dark type that we've encountered. Typically, Dark types are about laying traps and hindering your opponent with them and whatnot. Poochyena is not really like that. It's a very straightforward early Pokemon, and wow, critical hits. It doesn't have a very good ability. Its ability is Runaway, which makes it run away from wild battle successfully constantly. When it evolves into Mightyena, though, it becomes a lot more like a typical Dark type, and it gets the ability Intimidate, which lowers your opponent's attack stat, which is really, really nice. I like that a lot. It's not too good of a Pokemon. Dark types are also the weakest type of Pokemon in terms of attack damage, because the Dark type moves just aren't that good. But if you have a Torchic, Mightyena, it does cover a weakness that Torchic gets later in the game, so it might be good for you then, though, but I won't really be picking one up. But aside from that, though, this guy's no longer blocking the way to town. Finished sketching the footprints of a rare Pokemon, but it turns out they were only my footprints. Brilliant. And you hindered our progress for that. Anyway, though, going here to the shop, let's see here. Oh, wait. Wow, I just realized I only have 1,800 because I lost the first battle. That's too funny. I was going to buy 10 Pokeballs to show you something special that you can get if you do that, though, but I can't because I don't have that much money. Oh, God. All because I lost the first battle. Ugh. You know what? I'm going to just go out on a limb here and just say something. I really think that in this game, I'm just going to barely not be able to afford things a lot. And as a result, it's just going to screw me all the time. What do you got? I'm going to catch a whole bunch of Pokemon. Good for you. Over here, we have our second trainer battle. We have Pokemon with you, your official Pokemon trainer. I remember seeing an image. You can't say no to my challenge. Okay, fine. I can say no to you, though. I remember seeing a GIF of this battle that was saying, like, if you are at a Pokemon, then you're an official human trainer or something like that, and it was like Pokemon using humans. It was actually pretty funny, though. But anyway, here we have our first regular trainer battle against Poochyena. And what is it with me just getting criticals? Like, in that first battle, I think May got 2 criticals on me, and then I got a critical on her, and then there was that critical in the first episode, and it's like this game's about to go critical. I feel like the only person I know who's played the first Half-Life, but not the second one, speaking of that, though. But anyway. So, over here. Haha, our eyes met! I'll take you on with my bug Pokemon! At least it didn't turn that into a really bad pun, like being like, our eyes met! Oh, God, anyway. Bug catcher Rick would like to battle, and he sent out Wurmple. Sorry about that, got interrupted there briefly, though, but anyway. Wurmple is a new Pokemon here. Wurmple, for veterans of the series, it's basically the Caterpie of this generation. It evolves at a low level like most bug Pokemon do. It evolves into Silcoon, which is basically just a Metapod. All it does is harden. And then into Beautifly. I guess if you wanted like a Pokemon that evolves quickly early in the game, it could be a good choice for you. But personally, I don't like Beautifly that much. It's just kind of like the painfully average Butterfree of this generation, and without having the good Psychic moves at a low level. However, Wurmple's a bit unique compared to Caterpie. It can evolve into another Pokemon completely at random, which is Cascoon. Cascoon, again, is basically just a Metapod, but when it evolves from Cascoon, it'll become Dustox, which I personally like a little bit better. If you want a Poison Pokemon this early in the game, which Poison Pokemon are great, typically, they're usually about, watering down your opponent and just making their HP dwindle. Really, really good type there, though, but Dustox isn't really the best, though, but if you want one early on, I guess it can work. But that pretty much does it for that Bug Catcher with that Wurmple. It's not very tall, so I sink into the tall grass. The grass goes up my nose and Fwachoo! Ness got a cold now. Oh. One-step encounters, as always. Zigzagoon. Zigzagoon is the Rattata of this generation. However, I don't like it as much as Rattata, because at least Rattata had Super Fang and good moves like that. Zigzagoon doesn't have any of that. I recommend that you catch one, not because it's a good Pokemon that I want you to use in your team, but it can be good for other things later on. I'll get into that what that is later. Its evolved form, Linoon, isn't really much different. It's pretty much just the same thing, only a little bit stronger. But now that we're done with that, here we have Oran Berries. Berries are something that were widely expanded upon in this game. They are equipable items that Pokemon can use automatically. Oran Berries will restore 10 HP automatically when your HP goes below 1/3. Peach Berries will automatically heal a poison if your Pokemon gets poisoned. But it's a bit early for us to be using stuff like that, though, so I personally am not going to equip those things. I didn't know that guy was a trainer. I get the odd feeling that maybe like in Ruby and Sapphire he wasn't a trainer, though, but in Emerald he is. Anyway, Youngster Alan! I don't know why, I always thought that name Alan was kind of cool. I don't know, it just always sounded like alien to me. And he has a Zigzagoon. Get used to seeing these, by the way, because, like I said, pretty much they're the Rattatas of this game. You know, same philosophy of Black and White. Hey, there's no more of those really old common Pokemon. We're just going to replace them with really new common Pokemon you're going to see all the time. Okay, Zigzagoon, goodbye. Okay. And what else do you got? Tailo! Tailo is actually a very good Pokemon that I recommend. It is not just a Pidgey clone, believe it or not. Talos are very aggressive. They have the ability Guts, which is really good, which makes it so when you're afflicted with a status condition, your attack stat goes up by a lot. When Tailo evolves into Swellow, it is ridiculously fast. So, really aggressive, really fast. It's more like Doduo and Dodrio, actually. If you like using them in the older games, you should love Tailo and Swellow. And with that, we grew to level 10, and we learned Ember, which is going to be our first damage-dealing move of the fire type. Not bad. I called you because I thought I could beat you. Oh, is that why I can't say no to your challenge? Because you're like, oh, I'm going to beat you. Okay. So on this route, there's actually a Pokemon that I'm wanting to catch, because our Moagami is level 10, and I really just... I don't want to raise it up too much more. I'd rather catch something else and start distributing my levels out, because level 10 is really strong for this early in the game. And I think I'd be better off getting another Pokemon. So let me see what I can find. And I guarantee you the Pokemon that I'm trying to find is one that you're not expecting me to catch. I know a lot of you will probably have an idea like, oh, he's going to catch this one Pokemon that everyone catches on this route. But no, I'm not doing that. Because I use Growl against a level 4. First step to being a Pokemon Master is to use Growl on a level 4 Poochyena. Here we have it. Here it is. This is Lotad. Lotad is a water and grass type, has very few weaknesses. And like most water types, it is really bulky. And like most grass types, it's good at hindering your opponent with various status inflictions. However, I'm not going to talk much more about Lotad because I intend to catch it. I don't want to spoil the evolved forms of things that I'm going to catch in particular, in addition to the starters before we saw them, though. So... Alright, so we're going to try to catch this Lotad. I swear if this fails, it's like my first trainer battle did. I swear I'm going to... Okay. I guess I'm not going to do whatever it is I was going to say that you will never know that may or may not have been illegal and may or may not involve giant wooden mallets. Alright, so Pokedex entry. This Pokemon lives in ponds with clean water and is known to ferry small Pokemon across the pond carrying them on the broadleaf on its head. So in other words, it's a slave of a slave. I don't really have an idea for a nickname for this Pokemon, but I'd be willing to accept any suggestions you might have, so if you want to suggest one in the comments, I'll take it. Name Raider isn't going to appear until much later in this game, though, so can't really name right away. I'll be right back. Just going to go heal up my new Lotad, because just because you got it does not mean it is healed. Which sucks, because it should be so overjoyed from being my Pokemon that it heals itself. So this Lotad we caught is level 3. In other words, this thing is a tad low. Yeah, it's kind of... Only has Astonish and Growl. That's not going to really do much good against the Poochyenas we're going to be running into. Plus, what really sucks is the Zigzagoons are normal type, which are immune to the attack Astonish, considering that it's a ghost type move, but... So, yeah, I'm going to need to level this thing up off-screen, unfortunately for me, as much as I don't like doing off-screen training, though, because I didn't realize it was quite that weak. But anyway, what do you got? I'm going to keep winning and aim to be the best trainer. Help me further my career. Every 10-year-old's dream in the world, it seems. And yet it seems for some odd reason the 10-year-old with the dumbest hat always is the one to succeed. Why is that? I don't get it. And she doesn't even have a hat, though, so you already know she's not going to succeed in that. So, what I'm going to do here is, as you notice, I have my Lotad out, then I switch to my Torchic. What happens when you do that is if multiple Pokemon participate in the battle, even if they don't attack, they get the experience divided between them. So I can send out my Lotad, switch to Torchic, have Torchic take a hit like a champ, and then have Torchic finish it off, and they will both get some experience. Oh, Shroomish! This is a wild Pokemon that we actually cannot obtain yet, so I'm going to hold off on explaining this one for a little bit. Do have a lot to say about it, though. It's actually quite good, even though what I just did would not have you believe that, and I forgot to switch to my Lotad there. And as soon as Lotad gets a level, Moagami gets another level, so the gap hasn't been closed whatsoever. And hey, I got $64! Woo! Favorite number. And here we got an item. We get yet another potion. So that's 3 potions we've gotten for free now. We haven't needed any of them. If that Lotad was level 4, that would have just been a kick in the face, dude. Okay, so now... Whoa! I ran into a really rare Pokemon. This is the one I was talking about that everyone was probably predicting I would catch. This is Ralts. Ralts is kind of like the Abra of this game. Really annoying to catch, and it's really, because it's so rare, and when you do get it, it's really weak, only knowing Growl. But when it evolves into Curlia, it becomes a pretty decent Psychic-type attacker. Psychic types were known for being ridiculously overpowered back in the day. So, you can kind of get where that comes from. Psychic types are generally really good special attackers, and they're also pretty good at taking special hits as well. Really good type of Pokemon. When it evolves into Gardevoir, it pretty much, well, not only does it become extremely feminist, even if it is a male, but Gardevoir is really, really good at doing just what Psychic types are known for. It's fairly quick, it deals a lot of damage, and it can work on really any team. It is a good Pokemon to pick up regardless, though, but because it's kind of overdone, I don't really want to pick it up, though, because I already have Torchic. I kind of already have one really common Pokemon that's used, so I don't want to kind of overdo it. And with that, Lotad has grown to level 5. Okay, so I believe there's a couple Pokemon that kind of went unexplained in that area, though, but I'm going to get into them a bit later. Now, we're in Petalburg City. And yes, I would like to rest my Pokemon, because we have reached a new town, and that's the first thing you always want to do. And if I remember, this girl's got something. Let's see, there are many types of Pokemon, all types with the strengths and weaknesses against... For example, your Torchic is a fire type, is strong against grass and bug types. It's weak against the water type Pokemon. Don't forget ground, even though we haven't seen it yet. Pokemon in your arm barrier regain HP. Good for you! I don't know why you're telling me this wonderful tale that rivals Tolkien himself. Now, that guy was talking about the PC storage system. Now that we have 2 Pokemon, I can show this. When we access someone's PC, we can deposit Pokemon into the storage system, because you can see we only have 6 slots of Pokemon to carry with us. If we have more than that, they get stored in the PC, and we need to basically refrigerator shuffle our Pokemon around and have a team of 6 that works. So, strategy involved there. What's actually kind of cool is this game, in an interview, was confirmed that it was planned to actually have more than 4 moves per Pokemon, and more than 6 Pokemon that you carry with you, but they scrapped it because they couldn't really find it balancedly. I battled Norman once. Woo, he was way too strong. How would I put it? I just got the feeling that he lives for Pokemon. Norman, really? Norman gave him the town's new gym leader. I think he called his family over from somewhere far away. What kind of weird name is Norman? I mean, really, what is this guy, like 85 years old? Let's see here. Petalburg gym leader Norman. A man in pursuit of power. Well, let's go see what this guy with a massive ego is. But I'm related to him, really? If it isn't Emil, you're finished moving again. I'm surprised you managed to get here by yourself. Oh, I see. You're with Pokemon. I guess you're going to become a trainer like me, Emil. That's great news. I'll be looking forward to it. So we're going to fight our debt. Or we're not. We're going to get interrupted by... I'd like to get a Pokemon, please. You think you can just waltz in here, talk to my father, and have him give you a Pokemon? Please. He wouldn't even give me one. You're right. Oh, you're Wally, right? I'm going to stay with my relatives in Verdant Town. I thought I'd be lonely by myself, so I want to take a Pokemon along. I've never caught a Pokemon before. I don't know how. I see. You heard that, right? Go with Wally and make sure he safely catches a Pokemon. Hit. And he gave him... You'll do that for some random little loser who's like 3 pixels shorter than me? But not for your own son. Anyway, if you couldn't tell, this is the tutorial of catching Pokemon in disguise. Emil, Pokemon hide in tall grass like this, don't they? Please watch me and see if I can catch them early. Whoa! And what do you know? On his first attempt, he is going to find a Ralts. As always, he always finds a level 5 Ralts. So he's going to do the tutorial. He's going to pull out a Zigzagoon. I get the feeling they did this, though, because it doesn't have an... It's a level 7! It's 2 levels higher than what Birch gave me! Really, Dad? Really? Did you have to be that... God, first my mom makes me ride in a moving van, and then Dad'll give Pokemon to some little grunt, not me. I really do have abusive parents. And now that it's weekend, he calls it back and sends out himself. Now he's going to throw out a Pokeball and show what I have already shown you, the fact that you go in there. What, did my father give you that potion too? Yeah. I see you have the same backpack as me as well. Did he give you that too? Yeah. I'm a neglected child, what can I say? Ralts was caught, okay. So, big surprise, he caught his first Pokemon. Now it's... God. Did it, it's my Pokemon. Let's see, can we go back to the gym? And hey, we don't need to walk. How did it work out? Thank you, yes it did. Here's your Pokemon back. Alright. Sure, why I was able to catch my Pokemon. Promise to take really good care of it. Oh, Mom's waiting for me, I have to go. Bye, Emil. Now, Emil, if you want to become a strong trainer, here's my advice. Head for Rustboro City beyond this town. There you should challenge the gym leader, Roxanne. After her, go on to other Pokemon gyms and defeat their leaders. Collect badges for them, understood? Of course, I'm a gym leader too. We will battle one day, Emil. It's only after you become stronger. So, we cannot challenge our father quite yet, though, because he doesn't have confidence in our ability to beat him. I bet he'd have confidence in Wally, though! And why am I going to the center? I already healed. But anyway... So, we have now received yet another objective. He wants us to go past this town to Rustboro City, and I actually stopped walking right on that tile, trying not to set this off. Excuse me, let me guess, from the way you're dressed, you're a Pokemon trainer? Well, maybe not. Your clothes aren't all that dirty. You're either a rookie trainer or maybe you're just an ordinary kid. Roaming the land in search of talented trainers. I'm sorry to have taken your time. What, are you going to go look for Wally or something? Oh, he's not. Okay. Anyway, though. And I think you're playing with my Wally a little time ago. He's feeling sick since he was a baby. Down the air's a lot cleaner than it is here. What's that? Where's Wally? He already left, our Wally. I wonder where he could have gone by now. And what do you got, Miss Wally's mommy? Aww, I can't hate the kid quite as much as I did. And well. Anyway, so, now that we are done with that, and we've gotten yet another objective, I say that we end this off here. So, next time on Pokemon Emerald, I guess we're going to be going out of Petalburg City and seeing if we can find this Rustboro City that our father told us we should go to, alright? See you guys then. And I see in my reflection that I have the dumbest hat in the land.